Hey everybody, this is my T-bar tank, formerly my angelfish tank, and today I'm going to make a few minor changes to it. There's a couple of things missing from this tank that I really want to get in there, and the first thing that we can determine that is missing is some sort of aufwuchs grazing fish, or what we would usually just call an algae eater. Look at the back wall, look at the back glass, you can see how much growth is developing on it, and even if we look here, once we get a little closer, you see the front glass actually has a considerable amount of growth on it too. And we never used to have issues in this tank at all, because I had that Chinese Algae Eater in here. And as much as I'm not really happy with that fish, and would never buy another one, as I've said before, it really, earned its keep by keeping this tank clean. And so now that it's no longer in this tank and I've actually switched it over to my native tank, I've got nothing in this tank keeping it clean at all. So one of the things we're going to add to this tank is a rubber lip Pleco, and I've had one in quarantine for a couple of weeks now, and today's the day I'm going to go fish it out of the quarantine tank, and we're going to put it in this tank, and hopefully the tank and the glass and everything will start getting cleaned up here in the very near future. Additionally, I think what is missing from this tank is the color blue. I've got a little bit of hint of blue in my T-bar. I've got a little bit of hint of blue in my German blue angelfish. If you look just below the gill flap there, you'll often see a very vibrant blue iridescence shine off of that. It's a gorgeous fish. But there's a lot of red in this tank, and there's a lot of green in this tank, and I just think it needs some blue to balance all that out. So I do also have a solution for that, but for that you're going to have to wait till the second half of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other fish transferred in here, so sit right there and wait. And the wait's over. So I've been keeping a bunch of neons in quarantine for the last couple of weeks, and they're finally in here. They're still a little skittish, still a little scared. I just transferred them over, and I transferred them over the same way you would from, just getting them new and acclimating them. I put them in a container, and then I slowly added some water from this tank into the container until it was all the same temperature and so on and so forth, and then I put them in there. But it's only been about 20 minutes, so they're still a little skittish. They're kind of hunkering down towards the bottom, but I can already tell you it looks great. I watched the angelfish, for those of you that are wondering if the angelfish is going to eat the neons. I've never had an issue with that before. I've got neons and little white cloud mountain minnows in my 29-gallon miscellaneous tank, and the angelfish in there have never bothered them. And since this angelfish has grown up eating flaked food and never seen little small fish to eat except for its own eggs and whatnot, little wigglers from when I used to breed the angelfish in here inadvertently, this has never really been a fish that's had to prey on other fish. So it sort of looked at them and checked them out because they were new fish in the tank, but it didn't seem really interested in them. Just kind of swam around, looked at them, and then swam away. And I haven't fed them since yesterday afternoon, so it's not like I just got done feeding them or anything. I just don't think that fish recognizes these as food, so I'm not really concerned about it. The rubber lip I put in there, oh, actually, there it is right there. It's hiding in that cave. You can kind of make out its tail sticking out right there a little bit. It's laying up against that rock. So it hasn't been in there anywhere near long enough to make any kind of an impact. It's still just, hiding. It just now made its way into this new tank. I don't know why we're getting all blurry there. There we go. So I still think this tank is not quite complete, and what I think it needs is another angelfish. At least one more, maybe two, but I don't think two. I think one more angelfish in this tank would round it out nicely. I've sort of been looking, but not really looking. Every time I've been at the big chain store, I've kind of looked at the angelfish they've got in there. And I will say, I learned a long time ago that it is very easy to come across gorgeous angelfish and just say, wow, that is just, I'd love to take that one home. But that's a very common experience with angelfish. They're very pretty fish. It's very common to see these amazing looking angelfish. I need more than that. I need to see some angelfish that knocks my socks off. I gotta see an angelfish that I just have to bring home. And so far, I haven't seen anything that's approaching that. Well, I did see one that was pretty cool looking, and I would have liked to have had it, and I thought about it for a moment, and I thought, you know what, if I gotta stand here and think about it, then it's not the right one. I'll know it when I see it. So there is a possibility that another angelfish is going to materialize in this tank here in the fairly near future. We'll see. I should be getting down to my good fish store sometime this week. I've got to get that Mayan cichlid that's in my native tank packed up and shipped out. And the people at my good fish store, it's about an hour drive from here, they said they would help me out with that and get it bagged up properly and get pure oxygen in the bag rather than just air. And we'll get it, packaged up in an insulated container and get it shipped out. So a video should be coming up with that pretty soon, and while I'm at the fish store, I will probably just go ahead and shoot a little fish store tour while I'm there. So look forward to all that. So thanks for watching this one. Enjoy my new additions right there. Hopefully they'll stick around for a while. Make sure you're subscribed, that way you won't miss any of the stuff I was talking about coming up. I've been kind of off my feet for a while, so I got lots and lots to get caught up on down here, so there should be lots of videos coming here in the very near future, and if you're subscribed, you won't miss any of them. So thanks again. Don't forget, this one is my T-bar tank. See you real soon in the next one.